So today we are going over the World Race Driver tier list. Now this is the driver's skills at the time of the World Race, in which, I'll be rating them based on their skill. Basically, I had to go to all the World Race comics, because the Interactive Garage doesn't really have much on their lore, and it's a simplified version of their bios in the World Race comics. So basically I had to look at the World Race comics and translate all of it just to get a glimpse of what they are, and I had to look at all the speech bubbles to make sure a character said what another character did, and to include that in my assessment of the World Race Driver tier list. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. So first of all, we have D tier. Now, the only character in D tier, the reasoning behind this character being in D tier is because it's like, what are you doing here, dude? Why are you here? Why was he selected? And that goes to Finn Flippin' Surfer. The only thing in his bio that says anything about his skill is that he's an expert surfer and hang glider, and that's it. Nothing to do with driving or racing, which makes me think Vert just recruited him because he was like, "You're a surfer? You're in my team." And that's basically why he's DT. He has nothing. He has literally no... He's like, why are you here? Now, the next driver in the C tier, the first driver in the C tier, at the bottom of the C tier. Now, the thing is with C to B tier, I'm not 100% sure on the exact placement, but I'm pretty confident in which tier they belong to. Now, for C tier, it's like they have a skill, like a skill, or some sort of skill, or whatever. And the first driver is Visivisivus. Whatever, how do you say his name? Visivisivus? Something like that. The only thing that's in his bio is that he has amazing skills, and that the only way to win is to learn, or the only way to learn is to win. And that's it. He just has amazing skills. So I guess he has potential, and he's a good driver, I guess. He's a decent enough driver, so C tier. Now, the next driver we have is Charlie Raffa. Now, the thing with these bottom tier drivers is that they don't have much in terms of, like, in their bio to do with their feats. All Charlie Raffa has is that he's just a skilled racer. So, he's next in the C tier. Now, there's only two more drivers in the C tier, and the next is a Stampede racer, and he runs a motorcycle and car circuit, and he was one of the best bikers in his gang, and that goes to none other than Wayne Casper. Now, he's a biker, that kind of translates, but not really. But he does Stampede racing, which I'm guessing is just like a ton of people, like, compressed into one racing thing, and I guess you would have to be pretty good to get yourself out of those situations. Now, the top of the C tier list is actually an interesting pick, mainly because she sucks at driving, first of all, and I'm pretty sure you can guess who it is already. It's Lani Tam. Now, I don't know, she's top of... I was thinking of placing her lower, but because of all the skills she makes, like, she gets flustered, she's like, even in the battle of Hot Wheels City, she was like, but anyway, her decision making's not really the best, and, you know, she's a good driver, but it seems like she's better at being sympathetic, and she's a better mechanic than being a driver, and that's saying a lot. And the only reason I put her as high as she is, which is not saying much, is because she was one of the drivers firstly selected by Tesla. So that's the only reason why I'm putting her C tier and not lower. Now, the next driver, going into B tier has the most drivers, mainly because, you know, World Race, you have to pick good drivers. But next driver in B tier goes to Rekas. Now, Rekas, he has desert driving, and he was an information broker, so I guess he has to get out of situations pretty damn quickly, and he knows the ins and outs of desert driving. Now, the thing is, with these racing teams, they're highly specialized, and, like, it's just a thought that came up just then. why wouldn't you have a diverse team? Like with the Dune Rats and with the Scorchers, their drivers are literally highly specialized in volcanoes or desert driving. Like if the theme of your team was desert driving, you would actually want more drivers not to do with desert driving in order for your team to be more variety in order to win more of the races. But that's just my thinking. Anyway, the next driver we have is Rick Handy. Now, the only thing that was in his bio is that he was good at off-road skills, in which most of these drivers are good at off-road skills. Sorry, it was rugged terrain. Mojave was good at off-road skills. Rugged terrain, off-road skills, basically the same thing. Next, we have Tony Berry. Tony Berry actually is, I would think her skills just too specialized in order for her to be higher up. Now, her skills are actually, she's a tunnel rat. Like, she one-mans vehicles through tunnels and spaces, such as tunnels going from Mexico and tunnels in Antarctica to find her way through twists and turns. Now, her skills just too specific to be, like, top tier, but good enough to be, like, she won't win the race, but she'll carry the team through shortcuts and stuff, and that's why she's a B tier. She's like almost a wild card, actually. Now the next guy we have is Tono. Now the thing about Tono, he was I'm not sure if the translation's right, but it said best messenger on wheels in Mexico, finding his way through traffic jams in streets and alleys. So I guess he's got that sharp mind. He goes meow. But that's all I got. Now, some of these drivers, such as Sanjay Khan, which is this black guy, is he even black? I don't know. He's an explorer, he's a mapper, he's a navigation. Now, much like Tony Berry, they're not gonna win the race, but they're gonna carry their team. They're gonna carry their team to win the race. So that's why they're like, these guys are just B tier. He's an explorer, he's a mapper, navigations. Like this guy, he knows what he's doing. He knows where to go, but he doesn't know how to win. Now, the next guy we have is Bart Scampi. Now, I'm actually surprised Kurt Weill didn't choose higher tier races, but I guess that's what he could get at the time. Now, there's not really much about this guy. He's a motor mouth, he's got quick reflexes, and he's a fast mind, which is on the path of being like a Grand Prix, or like a Formula racer. So he's like Kurt Weill, but Walmart, not even Walmart. He's like Dollar Tree Kurt Weill. Like, he is 2 tiers below Kurt Weill, which is why he's like B tier. Now, the next guy we got is Geraldo. He's just good at long distance driving, so he's got a strong mental. He can have that endurance. The next person we got is Esmeralda. She's good on pavement and cross country, which is basically the same as long distance driving. Like, almost, no it isn't. No it isn't. It's like being good off terrain and on terrain, or whatever. Whatever. Next we got Joey Boylan. He's good on rough terrain, surprisingly, and high lards. Now he's just above because he's actually like, it's more rough terrain. Anyway, next we got Krakatoa. Now I'm actually like, the B tiers, they're nothing much, but the A tiers, we have some gems. Anyway, Krakatoa, he's a volcano guide. He drives like special modified all-terrain vehicles all over dangerous volcano terrain. So he has to think quick to get out of dangerous situations, but also avoid them, because he needs to discover the volcanoes. He needs to show the volcanoes. Next on this list is Ricky Bells. Now, he's a drag racer, so it's actually very relevant to Highway 35, since Highway 35 barely has any dangers. Drag racing experience, pretty good, Next, we have Felix Sharpie, who looks like Gotham Chess. Now, he drives through, like, dunes and jagged rocks, rough terrain, very similar to some of these other drivers. and nothing really to note really. Next we are actually getting to drivers, like professional drivers, getting into the highest skilled drivers. Now we have Pete Harris, who is a racing circuit driver, in which I interpret he's a professional driver basically. He's like almost professional. He races competitively, but he's not at that professional level yet. Anyway, next we have Jet Blaney. He is a lake bed racer. He is a long distance racer. He can race on like lake beds, rocky terrain, basically what these guys are, but just a little better. Now is where we get to the interesting parts. Basically, at the top of B tier, we have a gem. We actually have a stunt driver, a stunt demolition driver. Now the thing about these stunt drivers is that they have to time everything. They have to like actually be good at driving, otherwise they will die. If they mess up, they will die. They have to base themselves appropriately. They have like I know stunt drivers, you know, this just hear me out, you know, stunt drivers, they are putting their lives on the line like way more, kinda, not really, but you get what I mean. Stunt drivers, they're in dangerous territory. Now to A tier. Now the only reason why these two guys are at the bottom of A tier is because these guys are talented, but they don't have the experience. And I'm pretty sure you know who these guys are. They are Mark Wilde and Alec Wood. Now Alec Wood is in A tier because he could keep up with Kadeem and Taro if they didn't mess him up. And Mark Wilde, he's talented. He is talented. He is his brother. He is Kurt Wilde's brother. They are both Walmart versions of someone else. Alec Wood, Walmart version, Vert Wheeler. Also, Mark Wilde is also a Walmart version of Vert Wheeler because he's young and talented, but also of his brother. He is Dollar Tree, Walmart, Mark Wilde, and Vert, while Alec Wood is just Walmart, Vert. Anyway. Nothing really, these guys, there's nothing really about them. No real, I mean, obviously if you watch the movies they have feats, but in their bios they literally just got their license. Now the next guy is the gem Skeet. Now why Skeet? Why is Skeet A tier? Well, he has perfected his skills in the Everglades, in the swamps of Florida. Now when you perfect your skill, I think of karma, and that makes you a good driver. When you perfect your skill on something, you are a really good driver. Now the next guy we have is the wild card type of guy. Now it's Harrison Lau. Now the thing about Harrison Lau is not many people know his backstory. It's that he's Hong Kong's most professional and sought after action movie stunt driver. And if everyone's wanting you in the country, you must be pretty gosh damn good. Now his above you katam is because he's actually sought after. So he actually has an accolade of something. Anyway, next one is actually surprising. Chuvo. Chuvo is a gem that I didn't actually know about. I mean, I knew of Chuvo, but I didn't know his backstory. His backstory is that he's a champion dune buggy racer. Now that's actually, if he's a champion dune buggy racer, you're a champion. You're good. That's an accolade. Bang. A tier. Champion. Now the next guy is also like the A tier is just all these hidden gems of races. Next guy, Fluke. Is that his name? Fluke. He is the best ice racer in the world. Now, we saw how Taro was like really, really in danger and struggling in the ice realm. Fluke would have been perfect for the ice realm. He is the best ice racer in the world, so he's above these guys. Now, he could even be top of A tier, but I think he should be top of A tier, to be honest. Like when you're when you're the best ice racer, when you have that feat, you know, that's insane. That's insane. Next guy we have is Dan Dresden. He is in the professional racing circuit. He goes at steep hills. He's good at steep hills and stuff. I honestly think Fluke is better, just because he is the best ice racer in the world. Next, we have another hidden gem, and that is Maximo. Now, Maximo, he's, Dresden was second in command for a reason. So Dresden is above Maximo. The thing with Maximo is he competes in Europe's intense races. He's a consummate professional, whatever that means, and shifts at hyperspeed. So these guys, excluding like these, I don't really know. These guys have like really, 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 really good and adaptable. Now the last guy for A tier, unfortunately, this is where it doesn't get any interesting anymore because we already know who the top driver is going to be, is Everest. Now he is a Formula race car driver, basically the Scorchers version of Kurt Wilde. Now the thing with A tier, like, how do I place them? Like, Fluke the bet. Like, you have a Formula 1 driver, you have a guy who's competed in tons of professional Europe races, you have second among command Street Breed, who's also a professional racer, you have a champion buggy dune racer, you have probably one of the world's best stunt drivers, and you also have a guy who's perfected his driving in the swamps. Like, A tier is the gems right here. These guys, I would pick these guys. Now, obviously, S tier, if you're a world race leader, you are the best in your team. You are probably part of the best drivers in the world race. Now, my reasoning behind Vert being S tier, but at the bottom, he's got tons of talent, tons of potential. But if we actually look at his feats in the world race, the only reason why he got the Wheel of Power was because of jump jets. Now let me explain. The only reason why he got high placings at all is because of jump jets. Let's think about this. First leg of the world race, there was lava. Well, you know what happened when Lani went into lava? She nearly died. You know what Vert did? Use the jump jets. Second leg of the world race, they had a shortcut in which Kurt shot down the shortcut and Vert was falling. He would have died. But you know what happened? What saved him? Jump jets. Third leg of the world race, stuck in the desert. This was Dune Rats should have won. What happened? Oh yeah, jump freaking jets. Fourth leg of the world race, he got extremely lucky in which when the ice fell down, there was only him, Dresden, Kurt, and another drone racer. The drone racer takes out Dan Dresden, then just about takes out Vert Wheeler. But you know what happens? Oh yeah, gosh damn, jump freaking jets. He would have ended up like Dresden if he didn't have those jump jets. He got 5 chances with the jump jets. That's why he's bottom of S tier. He's relying too much on his jump jets. He wouldn't have even won the world race without the jump jets. He wouldn't even made it past the first leg without the freaking jump jets. So stop telling me Vert is good. He's dog. I'm joking. Anyway, with that out the way, the next two guys, I think they're very similar in skill level. And these are Banji and Kadeem. Although I could put Kadeem a bit higher than Banji. My reasoning for this is that, Banji has it all. He's got all of it. He's got navigation, sense of direction. He can race through the forests of Puerto Rico. He's went toe to toe with Taro, but someone more solid than him is Kadeem. Kadeem's also gone toe to toe with Taro. Kadeem tied with Taro. And he actually got second in the first leg of the world race. That's the reason why I put him. These guys are very similar in skill though. They are like almost equals. Now here is the easy part actually. I put Taro as the second best driver in the world race. This is because he has only won international events. He's competed in international events and won several of them, which puts his experience and skills above anyone else here. Anyone else. Plus he's a world race leader, so it doesn't really matter anyway. He's S tier anyway. Now, he goes below Kurt Wilde. Kurt Wilde is the best world race racer. Why do I say this? Because he is celebrated as one of the best race car drivers in the world. He's competed in Grand Prix, and he literally has the most skillful driving within world race. If you see all the maneuvers he's done, nobody has done anything near that. Nobody has replicated what he's done, and that is why Kurt Wilde is the best in the world race. Now, I'm not talking about accelerators. Tars is the best in accelerators, but at this time in moment in the world race, Kurt Wilde is the best. Anyway, what are your thoughts? And thanks for watching.